So, I am zserf, and I just set a new world record for Super Mario 64 Blindfolded by a lot, actually. So, pretty excited about that. And I'm here with Bubzia, who is the only other person I know of who's actually completed this Blindfolded. So,
Yeah, hello, hello.
hey, um, so I thought it might be kind of fun to watch the video and discuss it. And also, I haven't actually watched the whole video yet, so there might be some things in here that I just didn't know were going on. Um, yeah. Huh. Should we just get started? Or
Yeah, I'm ready if you want.
okay. Should I? Do you have the video
Yeah,
pulled up?
let's just count from three or something.
Yeah, I'll say three, two, one, and then just start on zero, I guess.
Okay,
Three, two, one, go.
so there we go.
Yeah.
Like, I just saw that you messed up your splits kind of at the end.
I did. So what happened was when I got the Toad Star, I forgot to split.
Yeah, it happens blindfolded, I guess.
I
Like,
yeah.
every single run I've done so far blindfolded that I actually recorded, every single time I had a mistake in my splits. It's so weird.
Yeah. It's just so hard to you're focusing so much on the gameplay that other stuff you lose track of. All right.
But I guess it's not that much of big of a deal, like if you
No.
just can retime it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Mostly an issue for viewers, I suppose. But okay. I was actually
Do you
thinking.
Yeah, what?
Oh, I was actually thinking. I know that there's sound component for live split. I haven't used it yet, but that might be something that would be
Ah, yeah, the
really.
other guys in Discord were talking about it, right? Like, it's some, like, I don't know. It's like when you split, it makes some sound or it reads like the name or something. I also haven't done it, so I don't know really.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be something that would be really useful if for blindfolded if it was modified in some way.
Yeah, that would be actually pretty cool. Like, if it just reads out at which split you're at or something, like,
Yeah, the split and how far ahead or behind you are. That would be super helpful.
yeah, that would be really nice.
All right.
Do you actually, know your sum of best?
I actually don't because my splits were messed up, and I know I beat
Yeah.
several of them, but I don't know by how much.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
I had the same problem. Like, because of these misplits, my goals were pretty messed up. And I tried to just recount it and
yeah.
put all my best splits together, but at the end it was still not really accurate.
All right.
But I don't
So,
know, it would be nice to know, with your new PB,
mhm,
how far we can push this game actually.
yeah. I mean, because I beat a lot of my later splits by a lot, especially my final split, because I'd only ever completed the
Yeah,
game
I
for it.
saw that was 20 minutes or something, right?
Oh, shoot. Mine's buffering. One sec. Yeah, I have to pause. I'm at 240, by the way. I'm not sure what the issue.
Which time?
Uh, I was at 2 minutes 40 seconds.
Okay, yeah, I'm at 240 now.
Okay, let's
Should be
see.
fine.
Yeah, okay, it seems to be working now. Stopped for a minute. Okay, let me count in. Three, two, one, go. So I don't know. This level is actually one of the harder ones for me. Um,
Yeah, I also really think the first star you have to get, the bomb bomb
uh
boss fight, is really. It's not that hard, but it's really weird in my opinion. Like
yeah. Well,
it
it's
can go very very wrong if you mess up just a bit.
yeah. That's the thing. There's almost no recovering from it if you make a mistake.
Yeah, but
Um,
after a while, when I practiced it a lot. Like it got better for sure.
Yeah,
And since it's like right at the beginning, it's not that big of a deal to just reset, I guess.
yeah, I was fairly inconsistent at it for a while, so it would just get frustrating when you'd have 4 or 5 runs in a row. And,
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't
know.
take that long, but it's like, burning 20 minutes right on the first star, just getting a run
Yeah,
going.
I always just saw it as a warm up, like getting ready for the run.
Um, so I'm sure you're doing the same thing here, just like counting the footsteps.
Yeah, exactly. Like a bit of a different route. I walk with the bomb in my hand.
Oh, okay. The one thing I try to do is I don't turn 180. I try to turn like at a slight angle so that I run into him a bit more.
Mhm.
Because like he'll start walking across just like that. Because if you're at an angle, he'll turn to walk across you, and that gives you a little bit more leeway when
Yeah.
actually grabbing him.
Oh, and that was actually gold, right?
Ah,
Or is that also fake?
no, that is. What time are you at?
I'm at 5 minutes.
How are you at 5? That's good. That's sometimes a pain. A lot of times a pain.
Or do we have we messed up somehow?
One sec. I'm just now hitting 5. Yeah, I'm at 506, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, wait a second. I'll just pause
Okay.
so I'm at your place.
Yeah, tell me what time you've paused at, and I'll just.
At 30.
Okay. That 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30.
All right.
This is one level I know that we take kind of different routes on. Is
Yeah, like I did not use the cannon at all at this.
um, it's always nice when you actually drop into the cannon, but as long as you can get it open, it doesn't really matter. I think you do like grab the tree and do a wall kick or something, right? Or
At the very start I just long jump
hmm.
up until I grab the tree, and then I do like just a neutral jump off the tree, and he lands right in front of the Cooper.
Yeah, so there the Goomba just knocked me off the path. Is one of the problems with this route.
It's always really interesting to see like the different approaches
Yeah, especially
at the stars.
because there's some parts that. So I guess as a bit of background, we basically came up with these routes independently because I didn't know you were working
Yeah.
on this while I was working on it, and
Yeah.
like the day I finished making proof of concept videos, I think was the day that you got the first run. So I ended up borrowing a couple of things from you throughout, but they were more or less separate routes.
Yeah, I mean there are also you have different stars and stuff.
Yeah,
Like I did not do the secret slide, I did not do the metalhead and stuff.
yeah. No, I really should learn to do the owl and lamps because that's a lot faster. But I really like the
The owl is
metalhead
actually
strategy.
really easy.
Yeah,
Like the owl was one of the easiest stars blindfolded in my opinion.
probably. Uh, it's one of those things like everything blindfolded when you don't know how to do it becomes hard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what I hit.
Ah, the good old teleport again.
I I bonked on something. I was like, what in the world can I bonk on over here? uh,
Well, as long as you got the cycle.
yeah.
I always had trouble finding the pole after getting up here.
Uh, I usually tried to avoid the pole just because Um,
Oh.
wait. So I just finished on my screen. Not really what I meant to do.
Yeah, me too, me too.
Okay, okay, just double checking that. Yeah, so usually I would just run forward and then like backflip a couple of times, and then I'd run forward once Koopa got there, and that would put me in the right spot.
And that's actually pretty smart.
But
I was always overthinking like I will run through the whole platform and fall down again.
yeah,
Apparently that's not that big of a deal.
well, you can hear the timer stop, so yeah.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
And it's just to set up spacing for the start of that. Because slope is actually kind of tricky. I love my route on this one. Just
Yeah, this is also different than mine. I borrowed it from 360 Chrism.
oh yeah, I've
Oh,
watched some of his videos. This I don't know. This might be a low slower, but not much, and it's very consistent. And also kind of hilarious.
like I don't think I've seen this thread before, so this is completely new for me. Are you doing the island hop or something? Or what are you doing? Ah, no, this is another cannon. Ah. Well, pretty great setup to get there, for
Yeah.
sure.
Like the second cannon, you literally just press A.
I don't remember how often I was on this island and then fell down again because I couldn't find the box correctly.
Mm,
It was such a pain.
yeah. Well, you'll see my setup here in just a second. Probably. Oh, this is the point where I do the most punches in a row in the whole run because I have to do 36.
Ah, okay. Oh well, that's consistent, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably do okay if you just like turned the other way and did some backflips, but I just
Yeah,
didn't want
I
to mess with
mean, as
it.
long as it's safe, it's perfectly fine. And it was fast also, like.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that strategy. You always end up on top of the box. Because it uses 4 different cannons. I mean, 5, 3.
Oh, that's an interesting way to get to the second stage, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I
I just,
always just like ran upright and hope that I find the door quickly.
okay. Yeah, I think you're ahead of me again. Also really consistent.
Oh, really?
Are, is it possible that you're on like 1.1 speed or something?
I don't think so. I just opened the video.
Ah, I mean, like your YouTube settings, you don't ever adjust the speed on it.
Nah, I don't think so.
That's so weird because it seems like yours is running faster than mine. Because I'm just now entering the second stage.
Ah, okay. I'm at 12:30 now.
Oh, me too. Oh, I'm so confused. Oh, you mean 12:30 on my timer, not the
Yeah, on the
Oh, I'm sorry. I was referring to the YouTube video time. That's where our
Ah,
confusion
no,
is
I'm
coming
watching
from.
the.
Okay.
I'm always watching the split time.
Okay, we'll reference the split timer. Yeah, if you just pause it, I can tell
Yo,
you
that's
though,
right. I didn't even think about the video time. Holy
because
shit.
it's 30 seconds off. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just pause at 13:10.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's going to be another 20 seconds.
Like when I started doing this, I thought Candleless would be like a very, very hot star. But
Yeah.
it actually like was pretty okay.
So I'm at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Should be fine now.
Yeah. I really like the strategy of running into the piranha plant. I was like, how do I get the setup for this and like get in the
And that
exact
looks
right spot?
very, very neat.
Because I was doing
I
like,
did it with like 2 backflips and some punches.
yeah, I was doing that something like that, and I just was getting a little bit too much inconsistency that
Okay.
it was getting frustrated. And this one has turned out.
Like I kind of always got it, so
Oh,
I
okay.
did not bother making a backup or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was really consistent for me.
That's one of the things about playing this is sometimes you'll come up with a strat and it will seem real consistent when you do it the first couple of times, and then you just do like something really minorly different and you don't even know what it is and it stops working.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Works. It's pretty consistent. Oh, this. Really consistent. Okay, no, I'm fine here. I thought there was some part where I got a little bit lost. That might have been a different run,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
You're like, I need to go through it. I'll just run into it and be invincible. Why not? I remember when I watched your video the first time, you did a bunch of wall kicks in places, and I was just super impressed that you could do them consistently while blindfolded, like get the timing right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I always thought that I really suck at wall kicks.
I thought I do the jump or the punch here because I thought that would always get me lined up in this direction, but I guess not.
But there's a lot of time to save at this split, I guess.
Yeah. What have? Oh, so I think the camera angle like swiveled around, um, and I tried a bunch and didn't get it to work, which is why you see me moving the camera back and forth because that resets it. So on my PB, it took me, I like exited stage 2 or 3 times there because I just couldn't. I knew something went wrong and I
Nice,
couldn't fix it.
That happens also quite often, I guess. Like
Yeah.
the camera messes up kind of just a little bit, and you have to do like backup strats to reset the camera and stuff.
That was the camera is such a pain in MIPS.
Yes. Overall, the camera in this game, like, it's not the best. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
At least for blindfolded, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it was way ahead of its time, but it's got some issues.
Yeah, for sure. I really like your strat for Worms and the tower.
Yeah.
Like I saw that in your first PB,
Uh-huh.
and that was so impressive to me. I did not think of getting to this pole. Like I always did it like super duper weird way, just with the wall kick onto the cage platform there and stuff. It was
Yeah.
I always lost so much time at the split, but this is so consistent and such a nice strat.
Plus it gives you an extra life, which is nice if you can end up carrying that into
for
like
sure.
all the way to Fire Sea. Although I changed how I did Fire Sea for this one, so I'm much less likely, like basically not gonna game over there anymore since I get the extra life right at the beginning.
Yeah,
I know that's
this is pretty nice.
That's something we had discussed before, and I was like, nah, I can do it consistently. And then once I started doing more runs, I was like, I can't do it consistently.
And also, the strat for worms allows you to grab the stars so quickly.
Yeah.
Like I always try to find like the right corner to hang on to, and then do
Oh.
some backflips with camera movement. But that was so bad. Like this strat for sure is way better than mine.
Um. I think there's a few times when like I don't see, or when I know I'm near the star but not quite sure where exactly. And I came up with this spiral method. So you go like up one, then left one. So by up
Yeah, I
one,
know that. I did that too. I did that
yeah,
too.
and I just like spiral out and out until hopefully I hit it. But sometimes I feel like jump kicks going up don't go the same distance as jump kicks coming towards the camera. So sometimes like the
Yeah,
actual spiral
it's
isn't a
not.
spiral.
It's also like very dependent on like how exactly high you jump and stuff. I think
Yeah.
like there is so much to be like adjusted for this. It's not perfectly normalized for sure.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, because other than like punches and backflips, it's hard to normalize movement in this.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah, those little I had a lot of trouble getting up here before.
Yeah, that's
Just
a really really hard jump to do.
and once I started doing those couple punches right at the beginning, it got way more consistent. Like it's still not 100%, but it's gotten way more consistent. Oh, that was a gold split. Just like those
Yeah,
couple
very
punches.
nice split. That was pretty fast.
On the first platform, it just makes the spacing way better than what was I even doing before? Just sort of guessing it. Yeah, basically just exit stage whenever I need to get anywhere because
Yeah, that's kind of the best thing you can do, I guess.
although it's if I ever get totally lost and need to reset, the only stage I know how to get into from the beginning is Babam's battlefield. So I need to go there and then exit stage and then go to wherever I
Oh, really? I did like you have to do like 20 punches when you enter the castle door, and then you should be around the same. Like the
Oh,
camera should change to the front, like when you exit stage,
that's
and then you can do the
interesting.
other strats.
I should maybe try that.
Oh, also the slide. I was very impressed when I saw this first time.
Oh, this took so much research to do. So, I found out at some point that Lupin's emulation of Mario has slightly different slide physics.
Okay.
So, it like I would try to learn things on console, and then when I would try to do them on Lupin, it just wouldn't work, and I would
Oh,
get
that's
very
interesting.
confused. Oh yeah, yeah. So I ended up in the wrong corner here.
Yeah. Do you also usually go to the left one, or?
Yeah, I usually go to the left one. But usually just the physics of the slide, you end up sliding that way.
Yeah, normally you do actually. Like I think I had one run where I went like through the wrong corner, but usually you end up in the left one.
Okay. Oh, I yeah. So what I'm doing here is I've had too many runs where I just got completely lost down here. So I eventually figured out that you can just slide around along the walls until you get to the slide, and then that sort
That's
of
pretty cool. That's a pretty good backup, I guess.
yeah. The issue
The ca- the camera in this room is also like very painful. Oh, what? And it aligns perfectly to the box? Yo, that's so cool.
that is coincidental. And I was
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, oh, well, I'll probably just run into something, so I'll jump to make sure I don't, and then I hit the box. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, it would be so funny if you actually hit it from the bottom and got like the star.
I did that with the sub 21 second one time. Um, the way I remember the backflips and like punch numbers here is I think of it as the opposite of a leap year. So instead of going 366 days, it's 364. So it's 3 backflips, 6 punches, then 4 backflips.
uh, pretty nice, like bridge to remember.
Yeah. That's always the worst part is like you go through the whole thing and you're somewhere and you're like, wait, is it 4 or 5?
Yeah, that is so annoying. Like at the end, I kind of started to just like remember everything like visualized.
Mm.
Like I don't know. Like I stopped like counting the exact numbers, but more like trying to see how much the distance is still like. I don't know. It was like a combination of everything at the end. It was really weird.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. So, oh, the other issue with this stage is that the timing's really precise on that jump. It's like
Yeah,
to
I
the
can
10th of
imagine
a
that.
second.
Like getting
And, so I think there is a couple frame window, but hitting that frame is a lot harder without visual cues.
Yeah, I was really impressed when you said that you like had the under 20 seconds slide done.
Uh-huh.
That was really cool.
It's kind of quiet, so sometimes I have trouble making it out. This is one of those days. There's part of the music here, and it's like, I don't know, it's some sort of string instrument in the background, and it's subtle. It's like something that I didn't even realize was part of the music before I started doing the blindfold runs. So I
Mhm.
listened to that as my cue.
I
Um,
also use music cues in this slide,
yeah.
like for the first like when to take the corner and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But yo, 19.8, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so when I land on the ledge there and like move over to the left, it's like sometimes I land really close to the slope and that will be a fast run, and sometimes I land more on the flat part and like get squished and have to do sort of a slow run. That will generally be over 21, and I don't have it super consistent to get the fast one, but I usually get at least one of them, and since you get 2 tries at it, it works out most of the time.
Yeah, pretty nice. That's a lot of time saved.
Yeah.
So you're doing the CCM slide, right?
Yep.
That's also new to me.
Oh yeah.
Like I did not do that. I have done it like casually for like okay, I don't think you can call it casually blindfolded, but I've done it like normally blindfolded once,
Right.
but it was a really hard grind. Like the RNG at the end with the like I did not really have a strat for the last bridge where you have to like really adjust the camera into the right position.
Oh, are you doing? Wait, for the penguin race, or
For the slide in CCM,
you you know about the secret tunnel, right?
but you can't take it, right?
Why not? That's only against the
Okay,
big
maybe I've
penguin.
done something very wrong.
You can't take it against the big penguin because he considers it cheating, but you can take it for
Yeah,
slip sliding
exactly,
away.
exactly. Hmm. Maybe I was. I don't know.
um,
I somehow thought that you can take the tunnel when you do the normal stuff too.
nope, you definitely can't.
Well, I guess you learn something new every day.
Yeah. What was it? Oh yeah, at the start there, my cue for like when I backflip, how long to hold left is that blue coin bouncing down the slide.
Yeah, I did it also in my
Uh,
run. In my I call it run, but in my when I did the star.
right. Wait, so you got down the whole slide without?
Yeah, I used the speedrun strat. I just jumped down like from the very top to the
Oh,
bottom, and then I kind of RNG'd the bridge. So like I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I guess if you tried that enough and wanted to grind it out,
Yeah,
I could see
it
how
took
that
like
could work.
50. It took like 50 tries or something, but it worked somehow.
So the day, so I did this yesterday, I guess, and the day before that, I had a run. It was going fine, and I got to this first Bowser, and I actually game overed on it, which like never happens to me on the first stage. Um, so I went back and tweaked one of my strategies. I'll tell you, like the part I was having trouble with.
Okay. Yeah, Bowser 1 is a pretty difficult stage in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty consistent at it, except for there's like the one part with the seesaws near the end, and that part is in trouble. Yeah, so this is all music cues for this long jump from the start.
Yeah, that's also pretty cool. Like you said, you had a few, like the last Bowser stage also with music, right?
Yeah, I actually use at least I use one music cue in the second one as well, but that's um, right at the beginning. But
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, it's really hard to focus on the music and doing the inputs, in my opinion. Like, I always had trouble with it.
yeah,
That's why I kind of didn't use it.
well, yeah. So you, I think you've mentioned that before, but I'll see your runs and you get like uh jumps and stuff that are inconsistent for me. Get like the spacing more consistent than I do, I think. As in, like, you'll long jump onto a pinwheel or something and it will work for you, whereas when I try it, I usually just fall off.
Okay.
So I have to come up with like a different way because,
Yeah. But that's the cool thing about like stretching something like this, right?
yeah,
There's always a different way and a different approach. That's like what makes it fun for me.
yeah. Like, I think this is another part. I think you long jump onto the like gray box up here.
Yeah, exactly. I
Uh,
do two long jumps, like one up and then one more to the right.
yeah. So I really like this strat because it pushes you up and that so you know where
Yeah, that's
it
pretty
is.
cool. That's pretty cool.
Although I had a lot of troubles with accidentally like walking too fast and just walking off the
Yes,
ledge
this
there.
was the biggest problem when I started doing this game. Like the walking speed is so weird sometimes.
Yeah.
You think you press the button like just slightly and he runs off, and sometimes you press the button all the way and he's like walking. Like of course just like in the imagination, but
Yeah.
it's so weird.
I think I'm walking right here.
Yeah, that
Like that
happens.
whole
So
time I thought I was walking.
there were so many moments where I just walked like on one spot like you are doing now.
Uh-huh.
And I thought I was going like very fast.
I usually just like hold it for like a good 5 or 6 seconds and then I'll just push it a little bit more.
That's actually pretty smart.
Yeah, it works as long as you're like fairly close. Um, it's to not overrun. Oh, I think my previous PB I got messed up here because I hit the box. Like I don't know, there was some point where I hit the box in a way where it was like further than I thought you could hit the box from there, and it really
Okay.
confused me about where I was in the orientation of that ring.
But there was also a difference right now. Like I used the red coin to
Oh yeah.
locate like the right path towards this bridge.
Yeah, during my PB, I accidentally got the red coin, and I was like, where is that red coin? I couldn't remember where it was. Wrong. But this is the part that was giving me trouble. Because, oh, I got lucky the Goomba didn't kill me there.
Oh, you used the bridge. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
because
new for me.
the other one was just too inconsistent. Like, running along the
Okay.
side, I was dying too often. And then that's not supposed to happen. Oh, I'm still alive.
Yeah, I kind of. I guess you wanted to go left and then jump up to
Yeah,
the
I wanted to
end,
do
right?
2 backflips to the left and then a long jump to the button.
Well, at least you didn't die, I guess.
Yeah, things get a little bit weird here. So I basically have no idea where on this platform I am at this point. And I'm like, if the Goomba hits me, I can fall off the edge.
Yeah, these Goombas are still giving me nightmares, man. Oh man.
I I like I've started calling them random number Goombas because it's RNG.
Yeah.
Also, this Goomba keeps running into the edge, so he keeps running and he just never stops. And I'm like, what the?
That's so troll. That's so troll.
I was so freaked out. I'm like, surely he'll run by me at some point. What in the world is going on?
Yeah, such a troll, man.
Eventually, I was like, something weird is going on. I have to just assume that it will work because I can't stay here forever.
Dude, I would be so scared.
I was. Yeah, so I wasn't sure how far over to the left I am, so I'm like, I'll walk up and then maybe I'll grab that ledge over to the right. So then I don't know. I'm actually like perfectly aligned to where I'm supposed to be, or where I was using my old strat of running along the ledge on the left, but I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you also use the right stairs, I guess, instead of wall kicking up there.
Oh, right. Yeah, you use the wall kick, don't you?
Yeah, I did a double wall kick there to get up. Oh wait, no. It was just one wall kick.
That I should not have punched there. See,
Yeah.
because when you punch, you can't grab the ledge, so like that could have killed me if I was just a little bit closer. This is about to get interesting. So I don't know where on the button I am. So I'm a little bit worried that I'm too far to the left or the right.
I walked off this platform right before the end so often.
And I was like, I really don't want to walk off the platform.
Yeah, that is so painful.
And I thought I had heard something with the pipe. I guess I was imagining things, but I thought I had like clipped the pipe. So I was like, is it to the left of me? Is it to the right? I don't know. And my thought was, I'll go back down to the bottom part and then I'll line myself on the button because I know like how many punches from the edge of the button. And yeah, I somehow did a wall kick off of that.
Just a bit of style here and there.
I'm so lucky that didn't kill me. Did I do a wall kick?
Yeah, you did.
That's one of the funniest things about doing it blindfolded is sometimes this absolutely absurd stuff happens and you just have no idea.
And then rewatching everything, it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm just finding the edge of the button here. Although I found out when you're Oh, I was about to say, sometimes when you stand on that, like, angled part on the side and you do a jump kick, even if you move the joystick, it won't actually move you over.
Okay.
So you'll keep trying to like jump and move to the right, but you won't move at all and you'll stay on the button. And it kind of throws you off.
There we go.
Okay. Weird. That went weird fast.
I wonder how you do Bowser one.
So the original way I did it was I
Ooh.
kept just punching and going that way, but I figured out. What? Oh,
Oh.
so okay. Right. So normally that works okay. Um, happen.
Yeah, that looked pretty good.
Yeah, it
You died
was.
somehow.
It was. And then I actually had trouble with this. Do I die? I think I die twice more on this. That's odd. And one of them, I'm not actually sure what happened, so I'll be curious to.
But the double damage boost there is really cool. Like to grab the tail for the first
Yeah.
time.
I don't actually mean to take that second damage, but I don't know. I must have just had my timing wrong there because that looked. May have to wait longer after letting go. It looked correct, so I'm not
Yeah, I
quite
guess that
sure.
can happen.
Also, these pipes are a little bit trolly in that sometimes
These
you'll be
pipes are absolute terrible, man.
because you'll jump and sometimes you just won't grab.
First thing is when you grab the pipe and then you stand on the edge
Uh,
and then you want to punch into the hole.
yeah.
But sometimes it punches and falls down again and you like not enter the final fight. It's
Yeah.
so weird.
Oh yeah, because you stand on the ledge, so you're like going
Yeah,
off.
exactly.
Um, yeah. So what just happened there? Bowser did like his dance, which I think only has 1 or 2% chance of happening, but I just don't know how to deal with it. So I just jumped off the ledge.
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good approach. And he dances again.
Yeah. Oh, that's what happened.
Ah,
Wait, so I actually hit a bomb here?
well, the hitbox for the bomb is pretty big. Maybe you take him all the way there.
Something weird again. Like maybe he danced again. Yeah, you can hear me talking where I'm like, I'm not really sure what happened.
At least you know.
But I mean, I grabbed his tail. The worry here, so the original way I did this, without doing like the glitched punch, where you can grab his tail from in front of him, was I
Yeah.
was walking all the way across the opposite direction of the stage, which took like several minutes just to make it across the stage.
Okay.
So I don't know. I felt like if I had the wrong direction here, I could waste a lot of time. But also, I thought like, oh, I grabbed the tail, and then once that happened, I was like, I'm good. I'll just do my backflips.
Oh, that's so. Oh no, man.
Because I've been
Oh,
tapping.
that's so.
Because you're tapping up the entire time, but every
Yeah.
time you punch, you turn in the direction of his tail.
What?
So I was like, I tapped up, so I should be facing that way.
Oh, that was very unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm moving forward each time. I don't understand how that's possible.
I
So,
personally also use the glitched, like the glitched grabs
yeah.
to take him all the way to the bomb there.
Yeah. I was playing around with it the other day, and it seemed like the glitched grabs only really come into effect if you've already grabbed his tail once. Or at least it seems like there's a much larger hitbox if you've already grabbed him once. I'm not sure why that
Might be,
is.
I also don't know.
But I was playing around with it, and I realized if you've grabbed him once, you can basically like run straight at him and then dive to the side from in front of him, and you'll grab on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which might actually be useful in sighted runs. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, the balls of physics are pretty weird. For sure.
That's weird. I think I'm normally to the left of Bowser when I do that. Those backflips.
Maybe some little camera
Yeah.
mistake.
A little camera, or maybe he turns slightly, or...
That was a
Still saved a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Guess that.
Bowser can
I got through,
but I have something.
the stage on my first try, and even with those errors, I guess that was enough.
Yeah. But I guess you can still shave off some minutes there.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely...
In a perfect run.
Yeah, there's definitely time to save in a perfect run, but a perfect run is so
Yeah.
hard.
Especially blindfolded. There's always some mistakes happening.
Because you don't... It's like... You know, I run 16-star sight. I'm not great. My PB is like 1920 or something. But when you make mistakes there, it's, you know, seconds, and those seconds add up, but still fairly consistent. When you make mistakes here, it's like one mistake can cost you 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe even more if you completely mess up and have to reset or something.
Yeah. So I had a run the day before this. I got to the final Bowser fight, and I was way over time. Like, so much went wrong in that run. But I just wanted to finish, and I got to the final Bowser fight, and I died. And I tried to do the strat to get the extra life, and I like messed it up and got hit by a Goomba and ran off the top there.
That's so unfortunate. Like I was very lucky with my last Bowser.
Yeah.
Like I only have my one run. I did not complete more than one.
Yeah.
After that I was burned out. But like I got it first try and I was happy.
Yeah. No, because you had trouble finding the type, I remember.
Dude, I was about to cry, man. That was so painful.
That's
Like,
just the
all
worst.
the way at the end. And I thought, you know, I actually rewatched it, and you know what the problem was?
Yeah.
My controller eaten A input. Like, he did not jump.
Oh.
But I thought I jumped 7 times already, and I'm at the top stairs. Like,
Yeah.
but he only jumped 6 times and got stuck on one stair. It was so weird, man.
There's
You could.
There's like a camera input that always gets eaten during my MIPS setup. It's really weird. I don't know why it like eats inputs sometimes, but
Yeah, it's really bad. It's like blindfolded inputs that are gone are really bad. Oh, that's a cool way to get up here. And this one I did a double wall kick. Like first to the right, then to the left.
Yeah, because you do those double wall kicks, and the timing on those, I don't think I can get down blindfolded.
It's weird. But I guess you get used to it after
I guess.
a while.
Maybe if I practice it, I could. My issue with that
Probably.
one is I used to have a setup where I would go through the door and then come back through to set up. And it was working for a while, and then I just couldn't get it to work consistently. And I had one run where like it was giving me a lot of trouble. I just had the thought of, why do I need to go through the door? Can't I just like jump to the side? And I improvised that during the run, like blindfolded, and it worked. So I've just used that ever since.
Yeah, that's cool, man. like finding new strats during a run actually is like the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, this star is also new. Like not new. I know it by now, but I did not do this star in my run.
I mean, it probably should be cut in a more optimal run, but I just love that it can be done. Like, I love
Yeah.
the strategies on this one.
It's probably with Ghost Hunt like one of the longest stars.
Uh,
I also thought of cutting Ghost Hunt out of the route just because it takes such a long time.
oh yeah.
But I don't know, it's so consistent.
The
Like
thing,
at least for me it was.
the thing about Ghost Hunt takes a while, but then the books are fast.
But yeah.
Although
Ghost Hunt takes-
you do the
I do
don't
the speedrun
you do a
stuff,
side
but it-
flip to get up to the books. I use the staircase.
Yeah, I used the stairs at the end too.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I found that it's just stupid to mess up the side flip and then be lost for a minute
Yeah.
rather than just going for the stairs.
Ah.
But yeah, that strat is pretty cool.
Yeah, I just love the like just backflipping and sliding down everything. Just gets you to the right spot.
Yeah.
And even if you
Like
get
I don't even know, like sometimes in the non-blindfolded run, or like just playing this casually, I have still problems opening the store consistently. And,
yeah,
like you do it with this setup, it's just so cool.
I also love that the like because you don't really know where you are after you do that run onto the land after swimming. So it's really
you
nice
gotta
that
find the
sign
sun.
is there.
Yeah.
But the problem with this jump is you have to kick the wall at a very particular height. I've noted. Because and it doesn't really matter whether you're coming up or coming down. It seems like. But you have to hit it like right above I think it's that third block.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But at least you can try over and over again. The
Yeah.
camera doesn't mess up.
Yeah, I think the camera messes up. Okay, right above the fourth block, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll usually go like 5 or 6 tries and then reset with the sign. So for those long jumps, that second long jump, you have to like push
They were
forward.
pretty close.
Yeah, you have to push forward and then go to like neutral air and then back to forward.
We go.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's where I mess up the splits.
Ah, okay. Probably forgot the toad, right?
Yeah. The thing is, I put a fair amount of thought into what should I do as the splits, because like
Yeah.
you're gonna forget some of them. The fun. So I was like, okay, well, should I have a split for MIPS clip? Should I have a split for like BLJs? And I decided, no, I'll just do a split every time I collect something, and that will be easy to remember.
Yeah, that's a pretty good strategy, I guess.
Um,
Like I had the toad and the ghost hunt in one split. And I think I forgot sometimes. I just split it at toad while not having a split for it, and
Yeah.
it's like really messed up.
and I'll sometimes forget to split Ghost Hunt because I'm thinking about MIPS or not Ghost Hunt. Read a book.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, I got through like the 15. Now the really hard part starts, and I'm so focused
That
on.
was always like just the warm up for what's coming.
Uh-huh.
Like the run for me was always starting like when I get to MIPS.
Yeah. Because if you can get through King of a Bomb, like you can get to MIPS pretty much. Like usually you get to
Yeah,
MIPS.
exactly. Like,
but-
I just really hate MIPS with all of my heart.
God, it just sucks. You spend like an hour getting there,
Yeah.
And
And
then
then you have to reset because bullshit. It's so weird.
I do so many little things in MIPS where like 90% of the time it doesn't fix anything. But when there's 10,
Yeah.
90%, stuff goes wrong.
I tell you, like every time I go back to this game, the first thing I do is like MIPS. Okay, check out the door setup again.
Uh-huh.
And every time I try to do it again, like my old setup doesn't work anymore. Like I don't understand it. Like it's so weird. That's also kind of the reason why I haven't grinded this game further out myself, at least.
Well, I don't know. You might find my MIPS setup interesting because I've got a lot more consistent. It's still not, it's obviously not 100%.
Yeah,
But
I just saw you do a different setup, like with the slide at the end.
yeah,
With the
and I've actually changed a little bit of how I get to the
oh
sliding
really?
part as well. So, because I was having
Looking
trouble
forward to
finding
it.
it. Yeah. I like the cameras in this level. Because they're fixed. They're like on the wall. So if you just
Yeah.
hold down, you will end up next to the camera.
Yeah, that's actually really pretty interesting. Like for me, it was always like everything that's not HMC is fine. Like especially, I don't know if you've done the amazing exit star
Oh
once or
no,
twice.
I haven't.
That I don't even want to talk about it, man. Like the
Oh,
camera is so bad. Oh, and there you got hit by the eye.
yeah, the eye's trolling me. I guess I'm looking at the Goomba. Or not the Goomba, the Boo.
Oh, 1 health.
And
Oh, that was close.
I'm just like, get out of there, let the eye spin around a bunch. And just hope that we're,
That was pretty close, though.
yeah. I'm not actually sure where it puts you when you die in Big Boo's Haunt. Because there's no painting to get thrown out of.
You get, I think you get thrown out of the fount, like the water in the middle,
Oh, yeah.
and not facing the door, but facing the water again.
Oh,
So you have to. What I did always when I died in this stage,
Uh-huh.
I went down into the door again, and then just re-entered to get like into this stage normally again.
yeah, so I'm trying to just jump and, like, not get hit by things, but I was already not at full health. And now I've got 2 left, so if a Boo hits me, I'm dead.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Yeah, it was very scary.
Well, that was a cool kill.
Oh. Oh, you turn towards the Boo when he talks to you. Didn't realize that.
Oh, you're right. That's actually kind of interesting.
Oh. You can see I'm kind of like slouched down on my couch, so you can't actually see me
Oh,
very
yeah.
well.
I guess it happens.
Yeah. And then I just do this in
There we
like the
go.
living room, so that's my sister started watching Jeopardy.
Well, interesting live show, I guess.
But it's like, you can't really hear what's going on anyway. You're just sort of aware that there's somebody around.
Yeah. I also always have like the headphones
Yeah.
on a really high volume just to hear things.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about, where you just pull down and you end up in the correct spot. Because the camera's fixed on the wall there, so if
Yeah,
you run.
that's pretty cool. I used punches to like get to the stairs mid-fight,
Oh,
and then I
okay.
killed the Boo, and then I instantly got like
Oh, Yeah, do you end up like on the top step after the fight? Am I remembering that?
Yeah, exactly. I ended up like on the very top.
So you can see that like I forgot to do a split, but I still stay green. I think
Yeah,
throughout, like that's how far ahead I was the whole time. That even forgetting a
like
split.
I guess it's also kind of not that big of a deal because it was a toad split. Like it's like one of the shorter ones, I guess.
Yeah, well, the thing is like then for Ghost Hunt I did Toad, so now I'm missing Ghost Hunt, you know?
Yeah,
So once I
yeah.
like am missing the long one, then it's an issue for there. But I guess Ghost Hunt isn't. Well, Ghost Hunt is a little bit long of a level.
Getting up these stairs with like these down movement from you is pretty good. Like I always had trouble finding these stairs.
Mhm.
I always just run up and try to grab them somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going the other way. I didn't know that.
Oh, what do you mean by the other way? Like through here or?
Yeah, I used to do the speedrun strat where you do the jump over the whole gap. Yeah, that's pretty cool with the books.
Yeah, when it works super well. Sometimes it like just doesn't. You do that jump kick off the wall and you just don't hit it, and can't really explain why it does or doesn't work. Uh, but you know, hitting the wrong one only loses one health, so usually you can just try a few times and you'll figure it out.
Yeah, and now comes Mips.
So I wanted to get extra lives there, as Fire Sea had been very trolly for me recently.
Yeah, you probably also knew that you had like less life because of Bowser 1, right?
Yeah, I didn't know how many, but I knew there were
That was
fewer.
also always the issue for me, like especially at like Bowser 3, like
Uh,
how much life do I have left
yeah.
actually?
Um, yeah, I pretty much always just reset between before MIPS
Yeah,
and
I also
before
did.
Bowser 3. Although the fact that you get the 2 extra lives in Womps means that if you get a really good, like if you don't die at all, you have extra lives heading into Fire Sea because of the pole strategy.
Ah, yeah, right. You
Because
collect two.
there's also I found out that there's a. Oh yeah, I forgot where I was going here. I heard the ghost and I was like, "All right." Uh, yeah, I found
Well,
out.
at least you can just hold up from now, I guess.
Yeah. Except, did I?
These stairs are also really trolly, like like getting from one of the doors like down here.
So I
That
thought.
trolled me a lot of times.
You know what happened here is I thought it made a different sound when you entered the key room. So I thought I somehow ended up on one of the side doors.
Ah, okay.
So then I was like, "Oh, I need to go back through the side door and drop down." Then I ended up back at the ghost.
And the bonk.
The bonk. Unexpected bonks can be so confusing.
Yeah, they can really.
I mean, there I was like, okay, but
Especially since some bonks messes up your camera.
yeah,
Like sometimes the camera changes like behind you or something. There's a lot of stuff that can happen.
it's also the. I think we do MIPS very differently. Because you chase him to near the entrance
Yeah,
to the shifting
we
sandland, right?
exactly.
Yeah, I couldn't. Because you have to like time when you punch to grab him, right?
I yeah, I did a side flip into a dive,
Oh, that's
but
right.
it was really inconsistent. Like not really, but you had to do the side flip in the exact perfect like you are not allowed to get like left or right, and that's kind of
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, my side flips are not super consistent. So.
I
Oh,
also
what
oh,
happened?
that was a
Oh,
weird camera.
yeah, you're not supposed to hit down C, and I was like, that might have messed me up, so I decided just to reset by going through the door again. And then actually, this is from you because you told me that if you go to down C in Mario Cam, you can turn a lot more
Yeah,
consistently.
that's I also only found that out like after I did my run. So that's is a really cool strat in a lot of places. Like
Yeah.
in the how is it called DDD. It's also very useful on the submarine.
Yeah, I started using it there as well. I should probably use it in more spots actually.
Yeah, afterwards I also thought of Worm's Fortress. There are also kind of, at least in my strats, a few places where I could use it. Like it's weird when you think about it. Like why would the camera like
Affect the
have such?
movement. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah. So a lot of times, like what just happened there is you'll see me jump in a corner because when you're slid into a corner and you try to do a backflip, it won't let you. So that's a way I can know if I'm actually aligned with the correct wall.
And now comes the door.
Oh, the dreaded door. I think the door was one of the funny things because when I saw your video, even though we caught MIPS totally differently, we both ended up with like the same strategy for the exact same strategy for getting through the door of running
Yeah.
into that corner and putting him down four
I mean,
times.
like, there is not really another way, I think. Like,
Yeah.
I started this, like, for 2 days straight or something. Like, I just couldn't get it right. And then I found out that when you let him go, that he pushes you back a bit.
Yeah,
And it somehow just fit into this corner. Like, I don't know. I was so, like, relieved when this suddenly worked.
I mean, so my thought process when I was learning all, like coming up with all these strategies was I can come up with like inconsistent strategies because if I just come up with something that can work, I can just try it a bunch. You know, I can do enough runs and eventually I'll get one that will succeed. And in
Yeah.
retrospect, that was a terrible idea. um, there's also the fact that like if you drop MIPS and you end up by the door, you don't know what side of the door you're on because you can get pushed through it or come back.
Yeah.
Then what happened here? Oh, that's so. I was just a little bit off.
Yeah. Good old Mario kind of happened.
Because you need Mario Cam for the. Although maybe I could get into the corner with Lakitu and then. I think I'm by the door here.
Yeah, that happened quite often to me too. Like sometimes I wasn't even in this corner because I had to walk with MIPS like through the whole level here. And I was stuck in some random corners.
Yeah, so I just reset there.
Yeah, that's faster than trying anything else, I guess.
You can lose so much time by thinking, "Oh, I can figure out how
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do
exactly.
this." I swear I've done runs where you spend, a good 40 minutes on MIPS before just throwing in the towel.
Yeah, MIPS was such a pain. Always. Like it feels so bad. Especially when you know that you are on a good run,
Uh-huh.
and then like, oh no, the door didn't work. What do I do? Do I reset? Do I try again? What should I do?
That was because I had a ton of mistakes in my old PB, as evidenced by the fact that, I just beat it by like an hour. So it was
Yeah.
awful when I'd have a good start and then spend like 30 minutes on a MIPS and think, I can still PB, but I'm so sick of this.
Yeah.
Like I think I had a number of runs where I was like ahead of PB base, and sometimes I knew that and sometimes I didn't. But I was just done. I was like,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like I had one very good run after my PB.
uh,
I was at MIPS I don't know exactly at which time, but it was like 30 or 40 minutes ahead of my PB.
wow.
At MIPS, like that was like there were actually no mistakes to this point, and then I spent like 1 hour and something at MIPS,
Oh,
and
jeez.
I that was actually the last day I've run this game. I actually just gave up, I think.
uh, that, yeah.
But yeah, MIPS can be very hard and frustrating.
I like that I use basically the exact same way for getting to Hazy Maze Cave. I was like, I already know how to do that. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna,
that's pretty cool. Just reusing old parts.
yeah. Oh, I was very nervous there because uh, I'm supposed to do Mario Cam right after I come out of that door, so I wasn't sure if things were gonna work properly. Because when you do
But
Lakitu
seems
Cam,
fine, right?
it ended up being fine, but Lakitu Cam swings out a little bit, and sometimes it can mess you up.
Yeah.
I also only recently realized that in Lakitu Cam, if you're in like down C zoomed out mode and you switch to Mario Cam and back, it will stay that way. But in Mario Cam, if you zoom out and switch to Lakitu and come back, it will be like normal Mario.
Yeah, the cameras are really weird.
So, but in that case, it's actually helpful because every once in a while I'll forget whether I'm in Mario or Lakitu Cam, and I just had no idea how to figure out which was which when I wasn't in a level. Because when I was in a level, if that ever happened, I would pause and switch to fixed camera, and then switch back to the like Mario Cam version.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Like I thought of using the fixed camera for something, but I just couldn't find a good way to like use it in a run.
I think I thought about using it for Koopa the Quick after you get up that like slope, and because you have to do that fast.
Yeah, exactly.
And not for the reason I think most people would think. At least for me, my issue was that Koopa would push me past the teleporter if he got there before I got in it.
That happened to yeah, that happened quite often actually.
Yeah. So it's not that like if you didn't have collision with Koopa, it wouldn't really be an issue. But because you do, you have to get to that teleporter before he does.
I just always like it happened to me when I went too fast. Like I always slowed down a bit while going up there
Yeah.
to let him pass to let him
Oh,
like
okay.
run past me and then I go into the teleporter.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Because there's enough. I mean, he's not actually that quick, despite the name.
Yeah, he's really slow. There we go. Also, how do you do this jump strat? Like, I've seen a lot of people also doing it in speedruns, and I just couldn't figure out how to
Oh,
jump out with the whips in hand.
you have to push down on the joystick. Yeah, it's super
Okay.
counterintuitive.
Like I've tried it like just for myself like so long and I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, so before I was jumping up to the top part here, um, and then like trying to find my way over to this, but I found that just like jumping back and jumping a couple of times got me to the slope a lot more consistently.
Yeah, that also seemed very fast.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that you were able to do the second door without a setup like this.
Yeah, I mean, my setup of this room began by the first door, so
Hmm.
it was kind of either it works perfectly or nothing at all. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty bad. But I mean, it worked in a lot of runs, so
Nice.
I just did not stop using it.
So this part, I mean, so I can get to that corner of the slope, and then it's just it's 29 times that you pick up Mips and drop him in order to get to the right
Yeah,
spot. But that,
like the push from Mips when you put him down, it's so useful.
yeah, especially I don't know how he would do things otherwise because he doesn't. You don't get any like wall sounds when you're carrying
Yeah,
Mips.
exactly. I think like actually without this, it would be either really hard or maybe even impossible to get
Yeah.
past these doors.
This part is still inconsistent for me. Like,
You know, I actually tested it. It really depends on when you walk. He wiggles like to the left and right with Miggles with Mips in hand. I don't
wow.
know if you noticed that.
No, I
And
didn't.
sometimes if he like is on the complete right side with Mips in hand, he just won't get through. At least it was like this in my setup.
Wow.
So it was like really just such a small detail, and you can do nothing about it because it's just a walk animation. Like, okay, this is also different from what I've done.
Yeah, I used the music cues to get the turn angle. I got it slightly off there, but um, it's so nice in this level that the tunnel has special music when you're in it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Because I like the water level. How I don't know how you would tell you would just have to hope that you did it right until you got. I guess until
Yeah.
the end, you know, until you got like to the other side. Although actually the fact that the sub lags the level is kind of useful because you can hear the like swimming slowing down and you know that you're getting
Yeah. It's
over to
actually.
the other loading zone.
Did you do this run on emulator or on the real console?
I did it
Actually.
on emulator. I haven't done any runs on console.
Okay.
That would be actually, I don't know. I would kind of want to do one, but my goal was to get a sub 2 hour.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be a very hard run to beat, I think.
Yeah, I also think so. Like I thought when I finished my run, I
Mhm.
knew what my mistakes were and stuff, and with my strats, I think like 230 would be possible with some grinding with MIPS and stuff. But like sub 2 really surprised me. Sub 2 is such a great time.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much that went right. Uh, I can't remember. I definitely borrowed some strategies for you on this level, but I can't remember what exactly it was. But I did. You got onto the sub in a different way than I did, and I took some of those techniques.
Okay. Yeah, it was this strat like this end part of the level is like really weird. At least it was like at the
Yeah.
beginning.
Also, did you have times when you ever ended up like to the left of the whole platforms after coming through the tunnel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
then,
like sometimes I ended up like on the complete right side of the sub. Like I
oh
don't know
really?
why. Yeah. And sometimes on the left. I have no idea actually how that worked.
Um, so you know how there's the jet stream?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
started listening to that, and that would tell me. I almost never ended up on the right, so that would tell me whether I was like center or to the left, based on whether it was in my
That's
right or left
actually
ear.
pretty smart, yeah. Because you don't know the exact angle when you go through the tunnel, right?
Yeah.
And I always just like pressed a bit more to the right,
Hmm.
and then when I found like land for the first time, I always went along the wall
Oh,
until I find like the right spot, I guess.
that was so close.
That was close. That was close.
It's because I didn't pull back enough after doing the backflip, so I didn't grab onto the ledge. And I had to
Yeah.
like think real quickly about what I wanted to do there.
There's also the Mario Cam down
Oh yeah.
strats here.
This is usually really consistent. I'm not quite sure why I ended up just past the star. But
It's always the feeling, the fear that you can't find it then.
I knew I was super close because of how much the game was lagging.
Yeah.
Like you can see how slow the jumps are.
Oh man.
I'm so afraid right here. This is also because you have to do MIPS clip, you can't exit level
Yeah,
here and reset it.
exactly. You're not allowed to game over there.
So so if things go really wrong, you have to drown yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And that can actually be tricky sometimes. You'll like think you're swimming down and then you'll resurface. So this strategy, this is actually the first run that I used this starting strategy in.
Yo, you sent it the new strategy in the Discord, right?
Oh,
Remember when I told you like a
yeah.
few weeks ago that I found new strats for lava? It's like exactly what you did now in the strat. I just forgot to send you the link.
I think I had figured that out a bit ago, but this start
Yeah.
here where I grab the extra life is new as of like 2 days ago.
Okay.
Um,
It's really useful to get that. Like,
I was thinking, you know, oh, it's a waste of time. Eventually I'll get a run that succeeds by just using my old strategy. But really, no. You just can't mess around with lives in this area.
yeah, yeah. I'm really surprised. Like, I don't know if you know what I did here. I
Uh-huh.
did like the long jump onto the second platform and then like a lava boost onto the right side of the stone platform there.
Okay,
Like, I'm really surprised how consistent I got that blindfolded.
really.
Like, it was blindfolded more consistent than without a blindfold. Like, I really don't understand.
Yeah, there's points like that where you don't know how to do it while looking.
Maybe it's actually better not to see.
Yeah. So I messed this up a couple of times, but it's fine because it doesn't take that long and don't lives on it.
I'll be away for a minute. I have to get something to drink.
Okay.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
All right. I didn't realize you were counting in until you got to like 16. I was like, oh, gotta start it. But I got it.
Okay, okay. That's fine. Yeah, good old Fire Sea being very hard.
Yeah. Is this, would you say Fire Sea is the hardest level?
I don't. It's either Fire Sea or Balls in the Sky, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
one of these two.
I mean, they're
Or
both,
probably just both. I don't know.
yeah. It's really hard to compare the two.
Like I don't know how hard Balls in the Sky is for you with your music strats,
Uh-huh.
but like for me, without it was very hard.
No, I had a number of runs that I messed up there. Um, some of them are just silly mistakes. Some of them, the music strats ended up not working because you get close, but
Yeah.
close doesn't cut it there. I also had one or two times when I just like turned the camera wrong and backflipped off the stage, which is a terrible feeling.
Yeah, that was really annoying because, like in Boss in the Sky, when you fall down accidentally, like just somewhere you're instantly dead and have to redo everything again.
Uh-huh. And you again have if you game over, you have to do the BLJs.
Yeah, exactly.
This part might not be great to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I know what's going on, so.
Yeah.
I also, in your new strat that you sent like last time,
Uh-huh.
I actually have one more thing. Like I
Yeah.
don't know if you know that. If you are standing on these how are they called? On these bridges that go like up and down.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how you use some backflips to get up on the platform where you actually jump up to the very top of the elevator.
Yeah, just for
If you know
spacing.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you have to go past these two bridges. And to get up these bridges, you can actually just mash A and B, and he does like dives on spot. And he actually just walks up in the perfect matter up until the very perfect point. Like I can show you that. Like
Yeah,
in
no,
your
that would
channel
be
video.
amazing because
It's so fast and so consistent to get up there.
God, because I spend a lot of time here. I really should remember just to like hit Mario Cam and come out of it in the future on these runs because even though I don't need it, like you and I know what's going on basically, but nobody else does.
Maybe it's interesting, like, to know how we feel when we play this.
Yeah. Although, I don't know, I think it does sort of help to show that, like, yes, we are just playing by sound.
Yeah. It's also an issue that Cartoon mentioned recently. Like, he has a lot of viewers that mean his blindfolded runs are fake and stuff. And
Yeah.
now he, like, every time shows his blindfold or whatever, and he points it to the camera and says, like, look at this, you can't see through that shit. And, like, there are still people saying, like, no, that's impossible, it's all fake and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's so... I don't know how you could really prove it to people who don't want to believe
you
it.
can't actually if you don't have a second person, like, watching over you officially or something, but... Yeah, exactly, these slopes that I mean, like where you do these backflips and check for the box and stuff, I don't know. Like, you can get up there so fast and so consistently. I will send you a link, a video.
Yeah, that would be really helpful, actually.
It looks very stupid, but it works so well.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm hitting that box not for the extra life, but because it lets me know my left versus right position, because it's possible to end up too far to the right here and like miss the hole.
Yeah, but I had like the exact same idea with the amp sound clue to do a side flip up there. Like, that saves so much time and trouble getting up these two next slopes.
Yeah, that's one of those things that is so convenient that the amp happens to be the right distance away, that the height changes whether you can hear it.
Like, it's also so weird. It's like, now that I watched, it's so obvious that you would just jump up there. Like, when I stratted this, I was like, I have to go all the way. It's no other way. Like, what should I do? And now it's like obviously that you just would jump up there without a problem.
Yeah, well, I think part of the issue is that's one of the only platforms in this area that you can actually hang off of.
Yeah, exactly. Like the edges are all like really badly shaped, I guess.
Yeah, so it's easy to just be like, oh, you can't hang from anything here and forget about it. I wonder if they did that intentionally so that people could side flip there.
That people couldn't play it well blindfolded.
So here, what was it? I thought I was at
Oh,
I thought I was at 4 health, and I was worried I would get hit by the fire, drop to 1, and then there's 5 coins, so I'd be at 6. And then when I was doing the jump over like the long fire part with the rising and
Yeah.
lower platforms, that sometimes burns you twice. So I was
Yeah,
worried
exactly.
about that. In retrospect, even if I was at 4, I should have just gone for it. Because like a lot of times you get through there without burning.
Yeah, but that was really unfortunate.
That's probably the biggest time loss in this whole run.
Like I remember in one run,
Uh,
I also was at very low health getting up the elevator,
uh,
or like whatever this thing is called. I just call it elevator.
yeah.
And I had like I was already in the red, like
Uh-huh.
red health. And I thought there are enough coins to get me past 2 level boosts. Like I
Oh
thought I
yeah.
am at full health. And I just went for like not safe strats. I just went long jumps, just go through there. And suddenly I died. And it was so unfortunate. I was so confused because I thought I was at full health.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw some video of yours where like maybe you were at 2 health instead of 1. So you, after getting coins, you were at 7 instead of 6, and you're just now
Yeah,
really
exactly.
confused. I don't know. So before I was doing the thing where like I long jump off of that cage thing and angle to the right there. And that was pretty consistent for a while, and then it stopped. And it's one of those things that like when you practice it, sometimes it feels consistent, and then when you actually have to
And
do
then
it
it's just
more,
stop.
it
Yeah.
stops. I just had too many game overs in this area that I decided I needed to find something better.
Yeah, but that's actually like the reason why you would try to find new strats, right?
Right.
So in the sense, it's actually helpful to die there in practice, at least
Yeah.
a lot of times.
Well, yeah, I ended up losing a lot of actual runs in here, which made me
Okay, then it's not that practical, I guess.
no.
I was always impressed how fast you managed this section here. Like I
Yeah,
did it in a very slow matter, like grabbing for edges and trying to figure out where I am and stuff.
yeah,
But you just long jump over the whole section and you are like in the perfect spot.
yeah. So, what happens there is there's like that triangle slope thing. So you run over it and you hear the coins, and then you jump on top of the caged area. And
Yeah, I always had trouble. Like I died there so often because I jumped into the lava
uh,
below that platform. Like I jumped too late or like too soon and just messed up the jump.
Fire C.
Yeah,
Fire C
very
is
bad
just
stage.
so hard because there's no railings, and once you hit the fire, the odds of you recovering are almost 0.
Yeah. And even if then you are at low health and other strats might not work.
You're at low health, so your strats might not work, and you're not really sure where you are because you like run around
Yeah,
being on fire. What? I don't remember if anything happens here. Because I thought it was kind of slow, but maybe not.
Yeah, I remember, like, when I saw your first video of Fire Sea,
You're like,
like,
how do you
didn't
slide there?
yeah, I was so confused. I checked like other versions, maybe not because you don't play on Japanese, right?
No.
And I thought
Ah,
like maybe it's a regional difference that has not been listed or something. And I was so confused, and you just have to tap down and then he slides, man.
God. So, okay, so what happened here was I guess I didn't slide far enough ahead. Because my strategy is to backflip up a certain distance and then slide down and get there. But I guess I was too far from the edge when I started the backflip, so I didn't end up sliding as far. So I think I'm like way far to the right of the box here. And I'm just kind of confused about what's going on, so it takes me a minute to actually. Yeah, and then I end up having to check where I am again.
The tension is rising. Yo, just this movement that you did right now, like what you couldn't see, like the dive in one spot when you stand. You can use that dive to get these slopes up very easily.
Because, yeah. Oh,
Exactly.
oh!
You just mash out the rollout.
You just
and
mash it because it
yeah,
works when because he
exactly.
stays. It's still steep.
And then when you reach the platform,
You
you just stop
stop.
the. Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
so convenient.
god, that's so simple. That is so simple.
And it's so great. Like when I found this, I was so happy. Like, well, I mean, I did not do a run with it, but it looked so cool.
Yeah, because that.
See, and now you're on top, and he doesn't dive anymore. Like
Uh-huh.
in theory, that's so cool.
Yeah, so I'm doing the jump kicks because I still don't know whether I'm on top. And then I hit the box, so I'm like, okay, clearly I am. And I'm near the center because I hit the box. Oh, I did not move over that far. That could have been really bad. Because if I had just been
Yeah,
slightly
it's
more
pretty
to the
close to
left
me,
there.
but
Because I
it'll
would.
still work.
Right. It's just if I had been on the other slope and did that slide, I would have slid all the way down to the area with the bullies.
Yeah, that might have ended badly.
Yeah.
These bullies do not know any mercy.
No. I had one time when I hit the bullet like 6 or 7 times and had no idea how
Oh
I
my god.
survived. And then, of course, I go to look at the video and it's all just like the camera from below, so you can't see anything anyway.
Like it could also happen that the bullies are just like in a very bad position RNG
Yeah.
wise, and you just long jump into one,
Yeah,
and then
that
he
can
just
happen.
instantly knocks you over.
I mean, the one thing about the long jumps is that it gets you through that area fast, so it
Yeah,
lessens the
exactly.
likelihood of that, but I don't think that ever goes away.
I also, when I saw the long jump strat, I instantly like thought like my strat is bad. Like I did like backflips all over the way there,
Yeah,
and it's just so much more likely that the bullies hit you.
yeah, that side flip there is so much better than what I was
Yeah,
doing
that's
before.
very good. Oh, that was also pretty close to the edge.
Mm. Yeah, usually that guy doesn't knock you off if you actually do that part correctly. I got nervous because I was at lower health and tried something different, so I fell off before, but
Like that bomb pushed me sometimes in a run
Oh yeah,
down all the
if you
way.
get too close to the bomb, he'll start following you. But I think my setup is like just outside that radius, so he'll never
Oh,
come and get
really?
me. Yeah.
Like I've solved this problem by jumping onto the box
Oh yeah.
and then going from the box, like just so that he doesn't see me.
This is also new for me because I used to like do the long jump lava boost thing, and that I didn't have any problem
I need
with
to
it
do that.
for a really long time, but then I had 2 runs where I just like didn't land on the bridge or didn't hold straight and fell off. And I just decided it wasn't worth it.
Oh, you can grab. Ah, that's so smart, man. You don't even have to do a double wall jump.
Yeah. And this is another new strat. I like spent a lot of time on Fire Sea this week, and
Yeah.
I'm like, isn't the box supposed to be there? I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Like, I wonder which strat you're using for Bowser 2. Like, I had so many different strats for this one,
Dude,
and a lot of them worked, like, perfectly fine.
yeah. I mean, it's hilarious in its simplicity. You just don't move. Wait until he runs into
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I did kind of the same thing, I think. I always just waited for 3 steps and then punched him, and it should be a glitched punch.
Yeah.
Or a glitched grab.
So, what was it? Oh, so if I move the camera angle, I could probably like walk forward a little bit and save a couple of seconds. But if you don't do that, if you just do this, I like that you're actually beating the level without touching the joystick at all.
Oh, yeah, that's right, actually.
Which you would just, it sounds so absurd that you can beat Bowser without using the joystick.
Yeah.
No, because now if I start using the tower climb or like the elevator or whatever we call it, those strats, I think that's gonna cut out one of the really uninteresting parts to watch. Which is nice because like some of my old Bowser strats were really boring to watch because it was like this but 5 times as long.
Uh,
Uh, so I don't know, just having something that's both, that both works but is also and is faster
yeah,
and more interesting to viewers
of course.
is cool.
Like, did you have any troubles, like, overall with the BLJs, actually?
I did well in general or it's generally yes.
Yeah,
I had runs that I'd spend a lot of time on it, but they aren't like frustrating to me when they don't
yeah, they're
go.
definitely not
As
as like bad as MIPS, for example.
Yeah,
In
because
my opinion.
you can just retry and that you'll get it
Yeah,
eventually.
it's
Which
basically just like trial and error, I guess.
because really, I mean, we have the timer and like talk about the time and stuff, but really the goal is to complete the game.
Yeah,
Like it's
exactly.
if you complete it,
Like
it's a success.
yeah. That's also like uh, a lot of the blindfolded community. Like the goal is actually not the speed run, but like just like the finish actually.
Yeah,
And the speedrun stuff is like sideways on like just on top of that
yeah.
addition. But it's cool to see the times, in my opinion.
Oh, of course. And I think that's
If you don't mess up the splits.
also the. I mean, when you get more consistent, your time's gonna be better too. So it sort of goes along with it, even if it's not quite the same mentality. So
It's also very different from what I had done. But I had very much. Yo, first try.
I
What
was.
the heck, man?
I know. I can't believe that weren't. I was trying to like
Holy shit.
look up some video, and the guy was like, try to get your camera angle like just slightly off. So I tried that, and it was like maybe a little bit more consistent, but I can never tell with BOJs what is
Yeah.
actually more consistent. But I just tried that side jump there, and I can't believe that worked first try.
Holy shit, that was so good, man.
Like I was saying afterwards, I did the BOJs faster than I probably do them sighted like half the time. Even with, you know, the slow stair climbing.
Like, I don't know. It's like, after my blindfolded runs, I really started having troubles doing this stairs here, like normally without blindfold. I don't know
Really?
why, but I really struggled doing these stairs, like, since then.
Yeah. So what I do for these stairs, this is a strategy I started using before I did blindfolded runs, is I listen to the music and like the
Oh,
beat of the music. I just mash at that beat, and
that's actually very interesting.
it seems to catch. Usually you won't get like first try, but you'll get it, you know, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 300 beats per minute or something. I'm like, oh, where is
The
it?
camera messed up there a bit, yeah.
Also, I think I wasn't quite in the right corner for setting up that I thought I was.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Oh, this is such a. I don't know how I feel about this strat. Like just the running and jumping there.
Yeah, that's really fast and seems pretty cool.
It's cool, but then you have the times when you like die 3 times in a row, and you just feel awful. That's the
Yeah,
other.
I mean it's way faster than me backflipping all the way there, for sure.
But
And it didn't seem so inconsistent.
no, I think the reason I tried finding a more consistent thing, but the thing is, I have the music cue here,
Yeah.
so I need to get here before the music cue, and that doesn't give me a ton of leeway.
Yeah, I really think this level with music is a great help because of the last elevator and this
Yeah.
one too. Like the elevators is so weird.
Yeah. I
Like in the
normally.
later parts, I even stratted a route like the normal way to get up here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a complete strat for that, but just as a backup when the elevator doesn't work. But I never got to use it. Fortunately, maybe.
Yeah. I started figuring out how to get the extra life underneath that platform when you fell.
Yeah, me too. And I actually died in one run trying to get the extra life.
Well, I would just
That's
use
so
it as a
bad.
backup for when I fell so that I could get a couple more cracks at the level. I don't think I've really gotten much opportunity. Oh, so I just got nervous here and like forgot my cue. And then I was like, ah.
Yeah, that's actually. Oh, okay. But you normally would just punch until you get to the.
Yeah. Well, you'll see how I normally do it because I normally don't grab the ledge. And I know I've checked out punching to the middle before, and it's probably something I should have thought of, but just in the moment, I thought the camera was behind me, so I thought I could just run
I
forward.
mean, it was a Mario Camp, so
Yeah.
it was pretty confusing, I guess.
Yeah, the camera's a little bit odd with the pole there, I think. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but I mean, this run was going so well, and you get here, and I've had a number of runs end on this level, just game
Yeah.
over, and I'm just
Really
like,
high pressure, I can
oh,
feel it. Like at this level, my nerves were always just blank. I was just, I don't know. But that seems pretty consistent.
you
Like,
know, the thing is that worked, but it wasn't the way I was intending to do it. Usually, I grab the ledge of the first one, or like fall and
okay.
grab the ledge of the second one. But I knew the timing well enough that I was able to get it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it works.
Yeah. So after I did the backflips, I wasn't. Sometimes you'll do the backflips, and like if you get the timing wrong, you'll land on one of the pinwheels. So I wasn't
Yeah,
quite sure if I was in the right spot or not.
and the thing is, you probably don't even hear it, and you think you are on top, and then
Uh-huh.
you start like backflipping again, or like long jumping, and you just suddenly don't know where you are anymore.
That was really fast for the pole. Normally I end up
Yeah,
more to the
that seems
side.
pretty good.
Uh, but sometimes I'll use the amps to help find the pole because they're centered around it. So you can listen like, okay, this amp's more on the right, so I need to move to the right.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good idea.
Yeah. This is
And
the
the dreaded elevator.
oh god. Why are there two of them?
Yeah, it's like I don't know what the creators thought about this, but I really. Oh man.
And then I'm just I'm waiting for the music.
Yeah.
I finally, I think I showed you that I came up with the non-music strat.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is what I'm more comfortable with, and I finally came up with that because if I like missed the cue or was slow getting to it, I basically just had to throw myself off the edge because I had no idea how to do
Yeah.
it otherwise.
I nearly ran off to the left here in my run.
Yeah.
Like I was walking way too fast. And then like 1 millimeter before the edge, I suddenly stopped. I don't know, because talk to chat or something, I don't know.
Yeah. So here I think I'm pushing left.
Oh. Yeah, good old walking speed.
And I think I'm going like a little bit faster and faster.
It's like the pressure right before the end.
And the hilarious thing is I'm lined up perfectly. Like if I just knew that.
If you would have waited like just a second more, you would have heard that you are like starting to sleep.
Yeah. Well, I think I did hear that.
Okay.
I think that's what prompted me to start pressing it a bit more. And then these Goombas.
Also these Goombas, man. Yo! Jump! Well, that was lucky. He could have easily
Yeah.
killed you there. Yeah, at these stairs, an input got eaten in my run, and I was confused at like where the pipe is suddenly.
God. And you can see it's trolling me a
Yeah.
lot right there.
And is it a first try Bowser throw?
Oh, I wish.
Like the last Bowser throw is like so weird.
I got impatient. Oh, what happens here? Do I can't remember if I get this one or not. Because I like the strategy for the second bomb mostly, but you have to be close enough to it for it to work.
Okay.
Because you just
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I
I
did
kind
get
of
that
used
one.
the same thing only on the other bomb.
Yeah. Then
And RNG throws. Oh no, you actually have the new strat like with the sounds, right?
yeah. So I don't know. I said when I showed this that it has to do with like an echo, but you get that so rarely. It's basically Bowser makes like that thump 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 sound every time you go
Yeah.
around, and you just have to pause. Like at the
Oh, it was
last,
close. It was close.
Oh,
yeah, because I thought I was pausing like right before the thump, but I paused right after it. I was kind of, I was doubting it, but I decided to go for it anyway. And then I had died the other day doing trying to get that extra life, and I knew I had the extra lives from Fire Sea,
Yeah.
so I was just like not worth it. I know I can afford to spend a couple tries to get over here. Although I had more lives than I actually realized.
Yeah, I had a lot of lives actually.
Yeah, because I guess when you actually succeed on Fire Sea, you get that one extra life right at the beginning. The one from the pole. I might have
Yeah,
gotten
exactly. You always
one
get
from the
like two
box.
for one try. Yeah. That is if you don't die until then.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can get one ups easily there.
I mean, and you can always reset before MIP, so it's really just whether you die in
Yeah.
dire docks. Okay. Because it's like, I think it's like 50-50-ish whether he jumps or runs.
Yo.
So I was just so like, gah!
I think in my run he jumped 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
It was so weird, man.
I think,
Like RNG just didn't want it. I missed the tail like by
yeah.
so little.
I think, at least for my setup, if he jumps like 6 times in a row, he'll just spray you with fire
Oh, okay.
because he gets close enough.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, I think this is the one that actually succeeds.
Yeah, could fit like 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes. Like for me, the scariest feeling was when I actually threw him on the last bomb,
Oh
and
my
then
god.
like just the thought of missing the star, that was like so hard.
Yeah.
Like just the pressure.
Yeah, especially the first time you do it when you're like, oh,
Yeah.
everything. Because if you miss that star, then it's like,
It's like
then
no way.
there's still the possibility the whole run could die, and then there's so
Jumping
many
right
jumps. So I
How do you actually know how far to run?
oh, it's from the platforms dropping. It's like
Ah,
the second crack sound.
okay. That seems pretty good, actually.
Yeah. But this, like when I watch this part, I can see that there are times that are lined up, but
Yeah.
it's like if there are so many times when you think, oh, it's probably fine, and then you go for it, and then it doesn't work.
But he seems to look to the bomb very often when you
Yeah.
pause. Oh, there we go.
You can see how excited I am.
And now the star. You don't actually have to move much, right? Oh, yeah. Well, GG, I guess.
GG.
Wow, man, such a good time.
Yeah. I really should have kept my headphones on. I like was just too excited to think about it. Because I'm like getting super excited, and you know
Yeah, it's so good, man.
my sister's there, so
Congratulations
I'm
again.
thanks. I'm like pointing at all my splits and being like, I did really well here, and like this thing happened.
It was,
Uh,
I can imagine like the first time you split and you just saw the minus 20 minutes and then you had to split another time, right? And suddenly like minus an hour nearly.
yeah, because I mean, you don't. There was. I did try a couple of times where I had like a phone alarm set every half hour.
Yeah, yeah.
I just sort of stopped doing that for whatever reason. So you don't. You
These
know it's a good
alarms.
run, but you don't know how good.
Yeah. But I can tell you these alarm strats don't work. Like in my Kingdom Hearts 1 run,
Uh-huh.
like I finished it in 8 hours and I had an alarm every hour and
Uh-huh.
it confused me way more than it helped.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't count how often it already ringed and I thought I'm at 9 hours already when I was at 6 and stuff. And it was so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, really great time, really great time.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to. I'm gonna need to go back and fix those splits. But that last split was what, 18 minutes from
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah,
So
probably.
yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah. My sum of best might be like 130 or something. I'd have to actually fix these in order to find out.
Yeah,
Um, and then, of course, I have to watch the credits.
yeah, of course, man.
Oh,
Can't just skip them. It's like the music of actually completing the game.
yeah. I don't know. There were just like a couple of details that you came up with that made things so much more consistent for me on certain spots that I was having trouble with. So,
Like I
yeah,
really think the more people actually run something like at least blindfolded,
yeah,
like it's obvious that new strats will develop and stuff. But it's so great when more people like are doing this because you can learn from each other and it's just great in my opinion.
yeah. Oh, I've got a whole like text document that I was writing for myself mostly.
Yeah,
Um, about my strats because you'd come up with a strat for one level and then
yeah,
you'd come up
of
with one for
course.
another one and you'd forget it. But I've made some changes to my strategies since then, but I really should put that on like a paste bin or something so that other people can look at it.
Yeah, I've
Um,
also done it for my other runs, but like SM64 was the first run I did, and
yeah,
I didn't know like how things go.
Yeah.
I didn't know like strats like written down and stuff. I just had my VODs and videos.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I didn't realize that Super Mario 64 was the first one for you too,
Yeah.
because
Was
you
the first
started
one.
doing other stuff after it, so I thought
Yeah.
you kind of did more.
I actually don't like. I did not speedrun SM64 that much. Like I also only did run 16 star,
Mhm.
but not for very long. Like I think for me it's like not the grinding that's like the most fun. For me it's like the whole stratting process and stuff.
Yeah, I mean
Like
that's
finding new ways and stuff. It's so fun.
that's one of the great things about, because it's such a popular game, but people don't do it blindfolded. So it's like you kind of know what you need to do, but you still need to figure out how it's actually done because nobody's done it
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
And that it's super fun when you actually get something that you're like, oh, I had so much trouble with this, and now it's so easy because
Yeah. And the end.
the end. All right. And sub 2. Sub 2 was like my, if you got a really good run, maybe like you could get sub 2. That was like my long-term goal. um I'm just so shocked that I jumped from a sub 3 to a sub 2 in one go. I just thought that you had been like, oh, that's the end of the video. Guess I'm going.
Yeah. Happens, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just saying that. Oh, I guess you probably heard me. You probably heard what I
Yeah,
was saying.
I heard you.
Okay.
But thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, and
If you get a new PB, we can do it again.
yeah, we'll see how, like, I'm still into it. I don't know. I think it'd be great if I could get things down so that I could consistently finish runs, but
Yeah.
I don't, like, I'm still
Maybe.
enjoying it. I'm still enjoying
Yeah.
it at the moment is the thing, but I've hit
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
yeah. I hit one of my like big goals for it, so we'll see. I might.
Maybe in the future we will see a sub 130 or something.
Oh my god.
The
I don't know.
dream.
I don't know. Maybe if I get some time at some point, I'll like make a tutorial or something. But
Yeah.
that'd be a lot of effort. So
The
I've got
problem
it.
is there's a lot of stuff to like talk about and explain.
Yeah, because
That
everything
would be, yeah,
is like
exactly.
brand new essentially. There's there's so much of doing these runs that it's just like the knowledge of how to fix things when they go wrong.
Yeah, it just also a lot of like just actually practicing it and get a feel for it, in my opinion.
Yeah, getting a feel for. There's a lot of like you come up with strats, you try them for a while, you realize, this one doesn't quite work. You have to go back. You have to try different
Yeah,
things.
exactly.
Right. Yeah, so thank you so much for helping me with this commentary, because
Yeah, no problem, man.
I don't think
Thanks for
there's.
having me again.
Yeah, I had a ton of fun. I don't think there's anybody else who really could have done this with me, because nobody else runs this category, and I would have had trouble
Maybe
filling 2 hours.
someday
Someday, maybe this will get some more people into it. But cool. Well, I'll do some editing to this and put it up. But thanks a ton. I'm
Yo,
gonna.
thank you too.